friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are shopping my stash again. I love these videos, so I'm super excited. First we're going to talk about the items that were in my basket for this last shop my stash, and then I will show you the stuff that I am pulling in for this current basket. So, this past basket, I don't know, you guys, it was kind of a letdown. But let's go ahead and just get into it, and we'll talk about all this stuff. So the first thing that I had in the basket was this Tree Hut Vanilla Shea Sugar Scrub. So obviously the Tree Hut scrubs are my absolute favorite as far as the formula themselves. I just feel like they are the best exfoliant that you can find on the market right now. I really, really like them. However, this vanilla was such a disappointment. Number one, I don't really even feel like it smells like vanilla. And I thought maybe, like, as I was using it, it would smell more vanilla-y. But it really doesn't. And the scent that is there is very weak, in my opinion. So, yeah, I just wasn't a fan of that. So, obviously, I will continue to purchase the Tree Hut scrubs. But the vanilla is not a fragrance that I will be picking up again. And then next we have this Bath & Body Works Wicked Vanilla Woods. So this is, what does this say? It says it is magical vanilla, glowing amber wood, and enchanted pink pepper. So I don't know. I was thinking because it's got vanilla and then amber wood. I'm not 100% sure what amber wood is. I know what amber is and I know what wood is, but I've never really heard of amber wood. So amber is very similar, in my opinion, to a vanilla. So I was thinking this is going to be heavy on the vanilla. Plus, I mean, it's called Wicked Vanilla Woods. I thought it was going to be very heavy on the vanilla with like a little bit of like a woody hint. And it may be on some people because obviously we know different fragrances react differently to everyone's skin. But with this one, I was just really bummed out because when I initially would spray it, it was very heavy, you know, as far as the alcohol smell. And then when it dried down on my skin, all I could smell was patchouli, which I don't even know if that's the wood in this because they don't really say. But I'm telling you, there's got to be patchouli in this. So it just, I don't know. To me, this smelled like you were wearing like super strong patchouli with like a hint of vanilla, which is okay, but it just wasn't what I was hoping it would be. So I was definitely disappointed with this one. This is one of those ones that I will use up because it's not like it's horrible for me, but I definitely don't think I'm going to repurchase this again when they bring it out next year. If they bring it out. I think they've had this one for a few years in a row, so I'm assuming they would bring it back, but maybe not. But it's definitely not going to be on my repurchase list. But like I said, I will finish it up. Then I also had the Victoria's Secret Pear Glaze. Now this one I actually really like. It's funny though to me. I don't know if my nose is changing or I don't know what it is, but they always like say things are, you know, this is described as being sugared pear, dewy melon, classic and refreshing. I get it, but to me, if those of you who are around the same age as me, do you remember back in the 90s, Victoria's Secret had a fragrance and it was called Tranquil Breeze, and it was heavy, like straight cucumber. And they discontinued it, and it really bummed me out when they did that because it was such a unique scent, because it was straight, like, it was like cucumber. Like, it reminded you of if you walked into a spa and they have like the whole like cucumber water thing. That is what it smelled like, but it was very aquatic and very cooling, and just the name was honestly perfect for it because it was very tranquil and like spa-like. Honestly, that's kind of like what this reminds me of. It's not as heavy cucumber. It's not as straight cucumber. They call it melon, which maybe it is like honeydew melon or something. But to me, I am picking up the cucumber in this. So it's very aquatic and cucumbery and tranquil. There's obviously more to it. There's the pear, which, you know, kind of fruities it up a little bit. And there's, you know, like hints of other things, like a little bit sweeter. But I actually really like this one. And this is one of the ones that they just recently brought back as like a throwback. So I don't know if this is something that they're actually going to continue to carry or if it was just brought back just, for the throwback thing. But it is actually really nice. This is one that I would consider purchasing again if they decide to keep it in the lineup. So that was actually like a good one. I also do feel like, however, because I was thinking it was going to be more heavy pear, which to me, a pear a lot of times will have more of like an apple scent to it. I was thinking it was going to be like that. So I felt like it was going to be good for this time of year. Whereas since I was smelling more of the cucumber, I feel like that is definitely more of a fragrance that I will grab probably in summer next year, more so than like this time of year. So and then the last thing that was in the basket is this Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. So there's a lot that I have to say about this one. And we're going to get kind of technical here. So buckle in. So obviously it's called Not a Perfume, which I guess I should have known because when you smell this, you really don't smell a whole lot. So I started doing a little bit of research to find out why. And what I ended up finding out is there is a substance. It's called ambergris. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And just for the sake of like not sounding too scientific, ambergris is basically whale puke. Legit, like this is for real. And whale puke basically is a pheromone. So if you're not familiar with pheromones, it's basically a chemical that causes a reaction in your brain that makes you want to mate with other, how do I say this without getting red flagged? It's a sexual attractor. So a lot of perfumes use pheromones in them. It's not uncommon, but they don't usually use it as like a whole base. Anyway, ambergris and like the actual whale puke or whatever is at this point is illegal to use, and it's also very rare and very, very expensive. So they've of course come up with a chemical in a lab that replicates the same effects. And like I said, a lot of perfumes use this in them, but it's not usually like the whole perfume. The Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. This is pretty much the whole base of this is that chemical whale puke. So the whole point of this is basically to spray it on your skin. It's going to smell different on every single person because it's a pheromone. So it's mixing with your pH, and it's basically causing like a chemical reaction in the brains of people who would be around you. The problem with this is it really honestly doesn't smell like you're wearing much of anything. It's like wearing air. So there's not a strong fragrance at all. The only time that somebody really is going to smell this is if they are literally right up on you. So I get it. And I totally get it. But let's talk about for me personally. I already bagged my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. I don't need a pheromone spray to get his attention. Like, I just have to be in the same house. You know what I'm saying? We're good. So for me, I'm at a stage in my life where I like to wear a perfume because I like to smell really good to myself. And like, I'm also somebody who I like my fragrance to be very strong. If I'm in aisle 5, people in aisle 9 better be able to smell me. That is just where I'm at my point, like my point of life. So for me, this is kind of pointless. And I feel like, yeah, there just isn't really much scent there. There is a little something. Like for me, like you do get like a little bit of maybe like a woodsy scent. But you guys, I'm telling you, I was spraying on like so much of this and I could barely smell it. And just in all fairness, like I did think to myself, well, let's try this out with my husband. And honestly, there wasn't much of a difference. Like, but that's what I'm saying. We don't need this. Like, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to trick him into like wanting anything. He's just naturally that kind of a man. So to me, it was just kind of pointless. So depending on what stage of life you are in, like, well, and I think the other thing is too, is to keep in mind that like if you are wearing this, just this, like if you're not layering this with other perfumes, like somebody is really truly going to have to be like near on top of you to smell it. I don't like people being close to me. Like, I like my personal space, you know what I mean? So, like, ain't nobody gonna smell that. So, I don't know. It was just, for me, it was very pointless. You know, based off of that, you know, a little bit of biology, you can make your own decision. But for me, I'm not going to be repurchasing that one again. I will be purchasing the perfumes that are super, super strong. And because this, I mean, I didn't pay, this is a perfume that I got for free basically because my husband had gotten me one of the Sephora samplers that comes with a free voucher for perfume. And I think he paid like 80 or 90 for the sampler. And then this is what I got. But retail on this, like if I had paid without that voucher, I want to say this is like $150. So if I have $150 to spend on perfume, I am going to find something that lasts like all day and it's very strong. So, but that, again, like I said, that's just where I'm at in my personal life. You do you. Okay, so next, let me show you guys what I am pulling into this next basket, which I'm actually very excited about. Where do I want to start? Let's start here. This is the Dove Cinnamon Pumpkin Pie Nourishing Body Wash. I'm excited about this one. It smells pretty strong even in the bottle, but I've heard multiple people say that when you actually go to use it, it like amps up even more. So very excited for that. And then I also decided to pull this Dr. Teal's Foaming Bath. This is a Soothe and Sleep Lavender. Very excited for that. You guys know that I love my lavender scented products, especially for at night or if I'm not feeling well. Those are like my jam. And then to kind of go along with that, I also picked out the Tree Hut Lavender Whipped Shea Body Butter. Have never used this. I mean, it smells fantastic. So definitely excited for that one. I have used some of the Tree Hut body butters and I really like the formula. So I'm going to assume that this one's going to be similar as far as the formula. So we'll just have to see about, you know, what I think about the fragrance. And then to kind of go along with the Cinnamon Pumpkin Pie, I decided to pull the Dove Cinnamon Pumpkin Pie Body Scrub, which I talked about the Dove body scrubs before, but just to kind of like tell you how I feel about them. I feel like they're, as far as if you're just looking for exfoliation, they're kind of not the greatest. But what I like to do with these is exfoliate my legs with them and then go straight in and almost use this as like a shave cream. That's how I like to use it. And that works actually really, really well. Let's see. Next up, let's go into the actual fragrances I decided to pull. This first one is the Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin from Bath and Body Works, and I have the lotion and also the spray. I haven't used this in years. This is obviously, I just purchased these particular ones this year, but the last time I actually used this fragrance, I bet you it's been every bit of 5 or 6 years since I've had this one in my collection. So I'm actually really excited to use it again. And the fragrance notes on this are heirloom pumpkin, autumn cinnamon, ginger snap, and whipped vanilla. Is this the one though? I swear. Is this it? Yeah, it is. I swear I get a hint of apple in this. I don't think they list all the fragrance notes because I'm telling you, I smell some apple in there. And then the other fragrance that I decided to pull, which these are actually both, well, no, I have used this once. The actual perfume I have not. So this is the EOS 24-hour moisture hydration 24-hour lotion and the vanilla cashmere. This is not the hand cream. I know it looks like the hand cream, but this is just like the travel size of the body cream in the vanilla cashmere. I think I did use this one time and I really liked it, but I don't think I even used it all over my whole body. So I'm excited to play with this. I'll probably, judging by like, you know, the last time when I did use it, I will probably end up getting the full size of this, is my guess. And then the perfume that I decided to pull is from Mix Bar, and it is the Vanilla Bourbon, which is number 9. Have not used this yet. I've heard so many people talk about how good this is though, so I hope that I'm not going to be disappointed. And then to add a few extra things into the basket, I pulled 2 lip balms. This first one is from Lip Smacker, and it is the Pumpkin Spice Latte. And then also the Chapstick Pumpkin Pie. And then to go along with that, I actually have not tried this yet, but this is actually a little lip brush tool. So you have the 2 sides so you can like scrub your lips and exfoliate them, and then you put your chapstick on afterwards. I had gotten these from Temu, and I think it was like a whole pack of like, it was like 6 or 8 in a pack, but I have not tried them yet. So I figured this would be a very good time to try it. And then the last 2 things that I decided to pull are some wax melts, because one of the other creators that I watch, she will pull, like, I think for hers, it's the Project Use It Ups is what she pulls these in, but she puts wax melts in there. And I thought that is such a great idea. And I even commented on one of her videos saying like, I love the fact that you pull wax melts. So I decided to go ahead and give it a try. So the very first one that I have is the Sensationals Magic Spell. And this is, if you are familiar with Victoria's Secret's Love Spell, that is what this smells like. It is like so good. Yeah, that's like so good. But I figured for the month of October it would work because it says Magic Spell. And then this I'm actually really excited about. This is a new to me. It's a candle company and wax melt company. My husband actually got this like whole, well, he got me a candle and then also like a whole set of wax melts. I think there was like 12 different ones for our anniversary. That was like part of my gift. So the company is called The Candle Daddy, and just to forewarn you, like if you guys look up the site, a lot of the candles and wax melts have kind of like off color names to them. Like they're not, you'll see if you go to the site, like they're funny, but they're a little off color. But so this one is called Pumpkin Spice Up in This Bitch. So I'm definitely excited to try this one. It seriously smells amazing. It's straight up pumpkin spice. It smells like if you like got a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. It smells so, so good. So definitely excited to kind of play with these and see, you know, how they perform and all of that. But that is it, you guys. That's everything that is in the basket this time. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about all these products, the ones that are in the current basket and also the ones that were in my last basket. Let me know if you agree with me on these things, or maybe you feel completely different. Maybe some of these are some of your favorites. Like I tell you guys all the time, with fragrance and, you know, body care products that have fragrance in them, they react to everyone's skin differently because all of our pH is different. And even the formulations are just going to be different for everybody, because you may have dry skin. I have dry skin. You may have oily skin. You may have sensitive skin. You know, like it's going to be different for every single person. So if you disagree with me in the comments on any of these things, like that's not a bad thing. That just means that we're different, and that's totally cool. So let me know your opinions on all of these things. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you very soon.